started leading class meetings like that. And then they thought, hey, maybe I should be a pastor. And then they started becoming a pastor. And then they're like, hey, maybe I should be sent into the world. And that's how the roots of the Methodist Church established, was because people, men and women, were willing to invest their lives in a small group each week with one another. And because of that, the face of the world changed. So much so that historians say that the English Revolution never happened because of the Methodists. I don't know if y'all remember, this happened in the 1730s, 1740s. At the same time, there was a French Revolution that was ridiculously bloody. Historians say the reason that didn't happen in England is because of the Methodist presence on their continent, on their little island, because they were invested in one another. And man, I think it works. I think there is an order that God's established, that he longs for us not to do life alone. Because when we do life alone, what happens is I start thinking that, well, I'm the only person struggling with this. I'm the only person that's ever dealt with this. Nobody loves me, everybody hates me, and I'm just gonna go out and eat worms, right? Any of y'all's mamas say that too? Man. And when you surround yourselves with brothers and sisters that are walking the same walk as you, there's something transformative about it. And it's more than just a scholarly exercise or the subject of a dissertation, but it's been true over and over again in my life. I saw it happen last year with a few people from this congregation that gathered together. In the midst of the throes of the darkness of COVID, when we were isolated and alone, a group of people were willing to gather together, to invest their lives in one another, to realize that we are not alone, that God has something in store for us together. And church, we can try our best to do it by ourselves. I'm a good West Texas boy who wants to pull up my bootstraps by myself as bad as anybody else. But we never can do it by ourselves. And that's why Paul is telling us, what you have heard from many witnesses, entrust to faithful people who will teach others as well. Share in the suffering, serve one another, follow the rules, do the work. In verse 7, think over what I say, for the Lord will give you understanding in all things. Church, God calls us to do life together, not individually. And whether you're here just for today, or whether you live here, I encourage you to find a group of people that you can do life with. I wholeheartedly believe in what I call formation groups, that God longs to come and meet you. And so on August the 29th, I'm giving y'all plenty of headway. We're going to have a meal for people that are interested to do life together, to grow in discipleship, to be formed into the image of Christ, because he has established an order. And I can't promise you that if you do this group, that God's just going to open up the heavens and life is going to be instantly better. But I can promise you that God will meet you if you're willing to go.